When you pop BKB on PA, every problem is solved, basically. Your magic immune, they can't disable you. All you need is enough damage. Because you can gap close with Blink Strike every 5 seconds. You can throw dagger to slow people. You got everything. You got slow, you got gap close, you got mobility. You just
and
need
a Viper. Wow, that's a Fada hero right there, but...
Cool. It is a Huskar counter, big time, is why they picked this. His second skill just got buffed. The AoE increased. It's another toxin. It applies a break, and that is going to stop Huskar's passive. It's going to stop PA's passive. This was a beautiful pick.
Beautiful enough.
Nip.
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 Nip. Nip.
Nip's good enough.
No one else going to chant with me? Nip.
Nip.
Nip. Nip.
Nip. I mean,
you just follow direction. Yeah.
What did they say? Once I realized how lame it was, people I was like, let's stop. I cut that out.
Right. Purge is going to go with Nip. Sheever. What? Before we move on, even though you're probably going to pick Nip, tell us what NaVi's got to have to do.
There was a question for me?
Yes.
They have to basically do the exact same thing as previous game, but then a little bit better. I feel like they should not let the Viper get out of control too much. They let Fada be relatively free in the previous game. I don't think they should do that.
I think they should, actually. I'm going to say the opposite.
Yeah?
What?
Viper messes your shit up. Just let him hit creeps. He doesn't do it that fast. No big deal. Let him hit creeps. Kill the other people. Or just like
but still get
bring the
ahead
train. Run the train on him once in a while.
Run the train on him.
Because he's a little bit weak to physical damage.
He is definitely weak for ganks.
And then you leave him alone again. You're like, go ahead, hit creep slowly. Because he hits creep slower than Razor for sure.
Well,
and he's slow boy.
Loot.bet likes NIP here. You put $1 on them and you get $1.47. You put $1 on NaVi, you make $2.44. So it's pretty close. But
that's for the series win, right?
No, that's just for this particular game.
245.
244 against NaVi.
I was chanting Nip a moment ago, but that's a good payout.
That's a good payout. I think that they're closer than that. But let's talk to our casters and see what they think about this pivotal game 2.
Yes, Rob, let's have a look indeed. Game 2. Once again, Huskar is there for NaVi, but a bit of a change-up in the way both teams ended the draft. We have a Viper on one side and the PA on the other, and got to agree with the panel, it looks like a pretty good Viper game.
Well, and not just that, but it's Fada.
Like this is, I mean, you said last game he likes playing the Razor as it, well, I guess he does, but one hero you know he definitely likes playing is he likes his Viper.
TI5, I'm playing mid, I'm playing C9. Guess what hero Fada played 2 games in a row in the group stage? That's right, it was Viper.
What were you playing against?
SF. It was SF versus Viper twice.
Why do you pick SF against Viper?
It was grim, but I'll have you know that we won those games.
Oh, okay. All right. SF, I can't blame you then.
Back in the day,
you
like,
won the game.
You would lose, but you could trade, and then you get 1 kill, and then Viper sucks, and you're SF, and you farm woods. That was back when the jungle was actually good. But anyway, the point is, Fada's been playing Viper for a long-ass time. Longer than 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds have been alive.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true for a lot of things in Dota. 4 years, 5 years isn't very long. I mean, Dota's like, what, 15 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's perfect.
Old game.
I question NaVi's decision-making on just last picking PA, because it's already a decent Viper game when you have Huskar.
PA is...
double break. You're just both... Imagine you have 1 wall in your house full of fine china.
Yeah, but you just get BKB, right? And then you're fine.
Sure. But that's kind of the story for both these heroes now. We'll see.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that PA doesn't like, but then she gets BKB, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and then she's jumping around the fight.
Speaking of the past, again, TI5, I remember playing against PPD. They loved picking Bat Brew, and at the time it was mid Brew, and it would be off-lane Bat, you know, Sumalian Universe. They did it with Gyro, did it with AM, a lot of different things. But anyway, it's just kind of telling how now that even though they're different roles, like Bat and Brew are still good, right? Because their concepts are strong. So no matter what changes in Dota as far as hero roles, lane mechanics, yada yada, certain mechanics in Dota are good. Lasso is always going to be good. Firefly, one of the few methods of terrain walking. In addition, Brew Split, like best CC in Dota. Just interesting how no matter how much the game changes, certain things always stay the same. Even like the Lion against Puck, like a 1-to-1 counter.
We'll do have a slight pause there.
Whoa. If you're epileptic, do not look.
Whoa, what's going on? That's pretty trippy. Whoa.
Time to stop.
Oh. Oh,
thank God.
Oh, that's so nice, so nice.
Anyway, the what were we talking about again?
I don't know. Maybe they just hypnotized us.
That'd be cool. Have you ever been hypnotized?
No, it doesn't exist, does it?
It does. No, it 100% works.
Does
I
it
don't know.
actually work? It's one of those things, isn't it, that some people will believe in and they say it works. I mean, I've never tried it, so I can't really comment. I've never tried to be hypnotized.
Supposedly, some people can. You probably not. Anyone who's like super skeptical about it, it won't work.
It won't.
But
If you believe it.
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Yeah.
But you have to like be this. You have to have this sort of mind that it can work on. I don't know. It's weird.
Have you tried it?
It doesn't work on me because I think it's shenanigans. But it's definitely real. I just feel like if you don't want to be hypnotized, you won't be. You know what I mean? Anyway, 5 stacks on Blizzy. He's got to be a little cautious. You can see they actually did change up the lanes, though. This time, Soxa in the safe lane on that Batrider, PPD off lane on the Lion with the Brew. So I think they actually...
They realized.
Yeah. It's cool because that was one of the... If there were a mistake NIP made, I thought it was the way they had laned the supports. And it's a similar scenario here where you want to ensure that you're keeping your Brew alive, and you put your stronger zoner, like damage output support in the off lane. Bad Jug, a pretty formidable lineup. Lane matchup, rather. But Huskar versus Viper. I've seen Huskar win this matchup, but that was back when you actually had magic resist. And PPD in a bit of trouble.
He is indeed. They're going for the chase down up top. He's got the stun to hold back the PA, and that will be enough to allow him to walk away.
Oh, they're doing very well in their lanes, NIP. Sox are going to deny himself to the creeps. You don't see that very often nowadays. TP from PPD.
There's Fada. He's going to get taken down. The wraparound for Chu.
Yeah.
Pays off. First blood for NaVi.
It's a big kill. Very helpful to the Huskar. Unfortunately, Chu got the last hit, but you take those. Let's see, Ace. Yeah, Ace just dropped his Wraith Band. That's another reason it's actually pretty value to die and or deny yourself, because it's near impossible to use Walking Courier in the side lane. Thus, here's your Courier, your friendly support who's arrived back in lane.
Oh, we're going to see a wraparound from NIP PPD. I was hovering around mid. They do have that ward though, so it's very hard really for NIP to make any sort of surprise movement on towards Magical's mid Huskar.
It's a good timing to do so, because you notice when PPD moves his lane, it's because the lane top is pushed. So he knows his Brewmaster is safe, thus his presence there doesn't really accomplish much, so you might as well poke your head mid. Maybe you don't do much other than, you know, keep Magical away from a creep or two, but that's still better than nothing. It's all about those little micro efficiencies, abusing those and hoping they add up over time. Recipe to success. Radiant get the pull off bottom. It's interesting. This is another element of the Radiant advantage I feel like I haven't heard brought up, which is that the Radiant has a very easy time pulling that hard camp, and Dire finds it near impossible.
Oh, look at that wraparound there. Collapse find the tier 1 tower, and the 33 just leading in and buying time for PPD to walk in with the wraparound.
Nice
Get a kill on Crystallize.
Yeah, they're winning every lane. Specifically mid, that's the key. That 10th pick, Viper, you know, if you all ever... Ooh, hang on.
Unlikely to be able to quite finish off Saxes.
Oh, he's got a lot of points in Flame Break. You got to be careful if you're Blizzy. I like that decision because both Sven and Puck are pretty mobile.
Yeah, you're not really going to Firefly over them, are you?
Exactly,
No.
exactly. And the Flame Break pushback also, it's not a stun, but at least gets them a little closer to the Jug. Maybe he'll be able to get that full spin duration off him. You know, anytime you can 10th pick a mid-hero that crushes its lane like Fada is right now, you're golden. But in addition, like, look at this. The Magical can't turn because if you're standing in that Nether Toxin, you don't get any of that attack speed bonus. Thus, you're just...
There's no benefit to being low.
You're a regular, you're like a Centaur, like as far as auto attack speed. I don't know, it feels really good if you're the side of NIP. You've got no problems with control, with burst damage. They've got tower pressure. They'll scale. Can expect to see a Midas, I would imagine, on 3-3 once again.
Yeah, I was going to wonder, what do you think Fada will build on the Viper? Because we did see some Vipers recently go for the Midas themselves.
I think it's... it's an interesting question. Previous patches, I would have not liked Midas, but after the changes to it, I feel like it's almost always value, especially on a hero like Viper where you're effectively just auto attacks. But there's arguments that can be made for Dragonlance, for drums, for Sanj and Yasha's, for Maelstrom. Like, it's really personal preference. Or you could go for the defensive items, you know, maybe a hood or something.
This is wraparounds for Saxa. That point in Flame Break going to mean that there's more time for Fada and Saxa to punch into Magical. Magical does have to verify though, and a TP from Chu.
Yeah, it's just, Huskar loves to be able to turn around, right? And just counter this aggression with just standing strong on the high ground as the support rotates in. You just can't do that against Nether Toxin. It's so annoying.
On top, 33 able to keep good pressure onto that P. I mean, it's as you said, with the support swap around, the lanes are just going that much better compared to game one. NIP already just having a pretty big advantage in CS, about 10 CS advantage in all lane matchups.
We've seen how many times in this current meta where winning 3 lanes wins you the game? It feels like almost 9 out of 10. Unless there's some sort of huge skill disparity between the sides, but I'd say as far as team play goes, these are 2 fairly evenly matched squads.
Dude, look at that tree.
Which one?
What do you mean, what one?
Dude, there were whole tons of trees.
Dude, there's a massive tree.
Okay, I thought that was
my.
All right, fine. Wait.
Come on, Kyle, open your eye.
I'm sorry. Blur?
Oh. No, get back up. I mean, it's still just keeping him away from this wave. It's so scary for Crystallize to come in. But this tree there, there's one there as well. That one's not even as big as the one we saw before.
Jeez.
there it is. It's growing. It's actually just growing. What does it mean?
I don't know. I have no idea. A good arborist, perhaps, some fertilizer.
PPD. We'll get found out. This time the support still have the control to get him. What is up with the trees? Something.
It's like, you ever watch The Happening?
What happens in it?
Spoiler alert. The plants are killing us. Oh no. Shout out to M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
You're not missing much.
Okay.
What? Fada? He shouldn't be dead, but still, that was a curious position. The problem with Viper in certain matchups, like, if you can't pressure, you will be pressured because you very much have to play from ahead. Magical's going to die.
Well, he's got Suneko behind him.
I lied.
Oh, no, okay, PPD's there. Suddenly PPD comes in from the Brave.
The curse has been passed.
Hey.
It's yours now. I got to be real careful not to take it up on myself
suddenly
again.
Just this lion walking in with an earth spike, and bam, Magical is dead.
And the key here is that they've left Ace in a favorable matchup now, because since he had such a huge edge, he can just, at the very least, ensure he gets every CS. Maybe Puck will be able to get some nice farm. You can't kill him as a Jug, but
PPD.
Still pretty happy.
Using the cover of the tree. I wonder if the tree is like that actually in the game. That's actually game-changing.
I hope not.
It might actually be, wouldn't it?
Dota's cool though, because we're using this terrain, but the players are all probably using base terrain.
Oh, true.
They're
using their own terrain.
Yeah, I can't think of a single pro player that uses a weather effect or an alternate terrain, unless there's some sort of competitive advantage.
Yes. There is in some of them in there, is it about the Immortal Gardens where you have like the square hedges? Remember?
Yeah.
Like stuff
but
like
that lowers your FPS.
Oh, yeah, but then these guys are pros. They're all running on like NASA PCs and stuff, aren't they?
Not necessarily. Maybe. Those are still expensive.
Vayne, the jump forward from Magical. TP's immediately coming through. The Viper Strike onto Chu, but he should be fine.
They do get the double TP forced. I think Peter canceled his though. Good decision. The moment he recognized that the aggression was halting, no reason to leave your lane.
The odds looking pretty solid and safe now for NIP, as not believing in the NaVi here with the numbers. So of course, if you want to have a look, check out the links below the stream.
Still an Oracle Huskar, but again, it's just, there's very few break mechanics in Dota, let alone one on the cooldown that Nether Toxin has. So whenever your win conditions both require passives, like it's hard to bet against the Viper. Like there's nothing else that deals with Huskar in the same manner. So even the Oracle Huskar, yeah, sure, you can keep him alive for a bit longer, but if he's forced to stand in Nether Toxin, his offensive output is non-existent.
Nice. Does want to try and grab that bounty rune. Is he going to be able to do so? He will. He'll take that away underneath the noses of Chu and Blizzy. More than fine to get himself away, but yeah, 2k lead for NIP. These slightly favourable lanes starting to show the results.
Yeah, could still go either way. All it takes is one fight from NaVi. You force an engagement away from the Viper, maybe Magical can make some serious moves. And Blizzy Puck as well. A lot of emphasis on him, but Concern for me right now is NaVi's damage output before they get a bunch of core items online. It takes a while for Crystallize to be able to farm properly, let alone actually combat this NIP lineup in the team fight, because once again, that Bat Brew combination, man, you've got the pick off the power, the single target lockdown that BKB pierces, and Magical, dude, that's a Brew split active. What?
Yeah. Let's see if they can get away with this. There's a lot of members of NaVi here, and Magical does have the false promise, so he's going to be more than fine. As 33 does have to just retreat with this split. Not much that he is going to be able to do other than just hopefully survive for himself.
You take those.
Blizzy's got his eyes on him. Does he want to try and go with the Dream Core? He is going to pop the Dream Core down. They are still continuing to chase forward onto 33. The Hex is down to Magical. The dagger flies in though. As the crit and the Purifying Flames for Seneka do finish the Brewmaster off.
But once again, that same story. Yep, we bring the camera here just in time. Always Ace is getting farm, no matter what. Look at that net worth, nearly 5K gold, 1,500 ahead of his counterpart in carry PA. So you can assume if he is going for that Battle Fury, he'll pick it up far before his rival. And that's just vintage NIP. I think if 3-3 doesn't break coil there, he might survive, just because there was so much peel potential from the NIP lineup. Huskar was never going to be able to leap into tower range safely, but that little bit of damage, the crit from the dagger as well, helping out and making sure that 3-3 is the one that goes down. You can see every game is different. Previously, he went for the Quelling Blade Brown Boots into Midas. This game, he's winning his lane, so invest in it and go for the phase first, along with the bottle before that Midas. Peter's level 6.
Onto 33. He's got the Hex.
Snake false what's it called? Stop canceled his W there, like baiting the finger.
On the Fate's Edict.
Yeah, the Fate's Edict, exactly. It just, again, like both these teams are on point. They understand like what's necessary. They grasp the kill windows and what spells would prevent them or give them the opportunity to strike. And if you burn Fate's Edict, it's like, okay, now you might have to ult preemptively because Huskar, you no longer have that magic resist. So you gotta have the Oracle, who actually, did he TP out? Where's Seneka?
He's gone.
Magical's a lot of trouble.
Magical's the only one here as the Omni Slash comes in, and NaVi, they're looking for plays elsewhere. They do get Fada, so it will be a core for core trade. So that was the move from NaVi. Yeah, they wanted to make a play mid, but it did leave their Huskar vulnerable up top. Yep.
It's really just well played by both sides. Those gangs happened almost simultaneously, so neither core. You kind of have to keep showing, otherwise you give information to the enemy side like, hey, they're looking to make a move, so I'm playing safe for no reason. Both players really acting as bait alone in lane, and they end up dying. That's just the nature of Dota 2. But good teams, as you can see, they're always playing all lanes. So someone will die eventually. The problem that bad teams have is that they end up holding hands in their jungle or in a single lane, doing nothing in the hopes that like they'll be able to bait some massive team fight. But good teams, like, it's creep waves, baby.
And PPD's there with the Hex, the finger as well.
Good positioning. And he's playing bottom side because he knows that's where his wards are, whereas Dire, they only had opportunities to place wards on the top side of the map. And of course, PPD just in that little bit of space where there's no vision.
Smart stuff there, and that will be the first buff to his finger. Plus 50 damage on the magical burst. Bottom lane, NaVi. They'll claim a tier 1 tower. It's going to be a trade by the looks of it, with NIP pushing on middle.
Ooh. He bought Vlad's on Brew. Interesting. He didn't go for the Midas. So he's switching it up. Maybe they discussed it real quick and they're like, hey, we can actually accelerate and just look to win this game. I wonder what the Juggernaut's item progression is. Because if he's not going Battle Fury, he is not. Okay, he is now.
He is now, so he gets the Yasha first. Yeah.
Nice. And the timely DD rune, another example of the Radiant advantage. You can pull your safe lane, Dire can't, and it's a hell of a lot easier when you get to this mid-game stage of mirroring map to just walk into Roche, especially if you have a Vlad's and a timely DD rune. And that's probably what the Vlad's is for, really. This is a big edge for NIP now. Lizzie's thinking about it, but...
Yeah, the only way they can get in time. Fada's going to keep them outside of the pit, though, with the Viper Strike down. Dream Core down to the two of them, and 33 pots the Primal Split, and he's straight in to make space for Ace to finish Roche, get the Aegis. Now Ace is able to move in. They've got the control, holding Magical up in the air as this Huskar. He'll cut down the healing ward, jump up towards Ace. They're trying to get rid of Seneka before he gets the False Promise up, but the False Promise is there. But as you say, 33's control with the Wind Panda makes the majority of the False Promise useless, as Magical taken down as well. NaVi turning up a little too late and split up to come and contest that Roche, as they lose Roche, the Aegis, and 2 kills.
It's the little things, man. Like NIP, they know Roche is going to be able to be covered by Ace, so they just swarm outside of the pit. Coil gets popped, sure, but Fada, the only one that breaks it. Immediate split by 3-3. And you can see the power of this Brewmaster. There's a reason it's being first 2'd by NIP and Alliance as well. The EU region giving a ton of respect to a hero that's pretty much ignored by CIS. And you can see NaVi being punished, I think, a little bit based on their lack of understanding of just what this hero gives to a side. You can't contest big objectives like this walking into a Panda, especially if he has a Vlad's.
Jump forward from Magical.
That's not purgeable, that's Axe.
As Ace. He is hunting. Doesn't have the Omni Slash. Did use that mid just now to kill Chu.
Yep. I wasn't sure exactly where it was. Snako. All right.
Just caught out straight away by a stun from PPD.
Well, he knows there's a ward there now, but now Huskar's in a lot of trouble. Oh,
But Magical, he actually chooses to jump back in. They do get the Dream Coat down to the 3 of them, but the healing ward's out. The Hex again is there onto Magical. As Magical, he's got the armlet toggle. He's running and Fada's gets another Viper Strike down onto him. There's no Snake to save him. It's going to be about the toggles. And it looks like this man's got it down to a T, as Magical will be able to toggle through the Viper Strike to keep himself alive. Top tier 2 tower, though, is taken by NIP.
And as always, you know, this is happening, but NIP, they're playing this aggressive with only 4 heroes. Saksa was farming bottom lane and the entire jungle out. He should be finishing his bots, his drums, his blink, whatever it is, the item he's going for. Crystallized, he's going for Battle Fury, but you know, you look at Ace, he went for that Yasha first, so not only is he able to participate in these fights, but now he'll have a Battle Fury even before Crystallized. So really everything going well for NIP. Now the bot's finished on Saksa, and just really nice way they're playing the map. Always in this like 4-1 formation. Chu in trouble. He did go Midas on Bata. Also going Tranquils. This is something I've only really seen him do. Every game he plays these types of heroes, he's always going Tranquils.
Oh, it's starting to fall apart a little bit, as it seems, for NaVi. As they lose Chu, Snako does false promises that they do kill PPD's Lion. But Crystallized not really able to jump in as of yet. He's throwing daggers out.
Full health?
It's the power of the heals. And Snako will survive. Magical jumps in, but now they know there's no false promise. So they can go with the lasso. They know that there's no way for Magical to be saved.
Yep.
As it works out perfectly for NIP. Sure, they don't kill the Oracle, but they get the Huskar because of it.
Yep, they understand the game state, you know, kill the Oracle or at least bait the ultimate, as you said, and then anybody else is easy pickings. Just another well-fought game by NIP. I love what they've been doing. Yeah, but going back to Fada's item build, like Midas into Buckler, it's a strange sense, but it's really the same thing that they did in the previous game. And again, the way that the items link up on all the cores just makes sense. Brew goes Vlad's instead of Blink, which frees up Fada, or sorry, Vlad's instead of Midas. Fada instead gets the Midas.
Ooh. Look at the Dream Cup, but the wraparounds there again with the Omni Slash bounces. Goes across a lot of the creeps, but it doesn't matter because they'll still kill Blizzy.
It's swarming the map now, and all of a sudden you're linked up as 5, although of course 3-3, he's actually clearing out the bottom creep wave because he's not needed. He knows his split's down anyway, so it's not as if he'd be assisting in these team fights too much. And if I'm not mistaken, Fada is going to be going for Greaves.
And he's got it queued up.
The double boot strat, and I don't blame them. Think about the sustain, Vlad's, Greaves, the healing ward, all the burst damage. How do you actually get out team fought by NaVi? And bear in mind, again, both cores need their passives to be able to effectively stay in these fights, and Fada's just going to be spamming Nether Toxin, which is part of the reason I think he's going for these Greaves, because he's actually more of a spellcaster than an auto-attacker, the way this game is playing out. You've got a Panda with Vlad's, you've got a Jug. They'll kill the structures. All you got to do is hang out, and you can see Saksa consistently shoving side lanes. He's got those bots. Will he survive here? Yes, he will. Even if he dies there, who cares? And look, they're cutting mid-wave too. Just really, wards down. It's just everything. All the little boxes being checked by NIP and NaVi. You haven't played a poor game necessarily, but...
And he finds Blizzy. Blizzy was just sitting there on the side, waiting for an opportunity to maybe set something up. I mean, there was no one else for NaVi really around.
It's the ward that was placed. Got the vision.
And now they're into the base, NIP.
And they even trade glyphs to ensure that they have a longer bit of a creep wave. Ace once again cutting the mid wave, so there's no way to get around this. This is preemptively preventing the puck from playing bottom here, cutting waves and stopping this push. They would have 2 waves no matter what.
Oh, Ju does get Viper Strike. NIP keeping NaVi away from being able to form any sort of defense. I mean, Crystallized, he has the the Battle Fury, but he hasn't got anything else on top of it yet. He needs more time, and NIP just aren't giving it to NaVi as they're pushing in 20 minutes, taking this bottom set of racks, hitting this timing perfectly with this Viper lineup, utilizing their strengths, the itemization perfect for sort of just closing the game at this time. And NaVi, I don't think they've got the tools to match it.
The way NIP plays is like an upgraded version of that Optic lineup from last year. Just same concepts, same fluid, no superstar. You know, this is Spurs basketball. This is everybody plays a role, has a part. Tough to really point to a standout performer because everyone's done their job.
33 does get jumped upon. He has been silenced as well, but he's still going to get a split on. And with that stun, it's got to be over. It's got to be over. GG is indeed called as NIP. They don't mess around in game 2. They make this look as easy as ever.
And I can't say, like, NaVi didn't play bad. They didn't draft bad. It's just wow.
I mean,
really,
it's
wow.
NIP.
Yeah.
I mean, NIP have just knocked us away in some of these games, and this one in particular. And against NaVi, a team in game 1, we saw that NaVi, they've got some good stuff going on, but game 2, NIP says, no, they don't.